to a mic.
Hi, I'm Cynthia with Judicial Injustices Run Lives. I'm waiting on my family to call. That's if the overseers in the Genesee County Jail are not being tyrants. I do not own the right to this music. I do not own the rights to this music, but it's comforting. You can do the donut?
No? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm not gonna forget. Those ones, where you got them from?
Southern made.
Yup. That's all I get it from there.
I want to discuss this title and Title 15, Commerce and Trade. This is what exactly my family has been thrusted in by Prosecutor David Layden and all the entities and agencies involved in the administration. Title 15, Commerce and Trade, Securities Exchange. They've traded, they've put them on the stock market, trading with their name, with their state, your personal business, they're doing personal business with the name of Sharmel Teague, Ramanye Bishop, Larry Teague, and Briar Bishop. Don't do that. I'm on my live. So that's what I want to discuss. Just hoping that they call. Good God. Today is Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. It's 6:15. The overseers might be being tyrants today, because generally they'll be calling. They would have called no later than 6:05. So the overseers might be having a bad day just because they liked inflicting undue measures. Here's one.
This is a prepaid call from Sharmel. This call is from an inmate at the Genesee County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, your current balance is $21.97. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Telling.
Hi, my love. How are you?
I'm alright. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm waiting on y'all to call. Sitting here waiting, patiently waiting. I thought that the overseers were having a bad day at the Genesee County Jail. You know how they do, those guards, deputies.
They were having a bad day.
I was thinking that they were having a bad day because it's later than what you would call. You usually call about 5.
For me, I just got off the phone with parking.
Oh, okay, I'm on my live. I'm doing a live right now.
Okay.
I'm just waiting on you and Smoke because I found out that actually the way that they bringing you guys in, I want to look into the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which is Title 22 USC, Foreign Relations and Intercourse. It also identifies all the public officials as foreign agents. They took an oath, but they still operating out of the District of Columbia. They're securitizing you guys' name. They're doing, they're trading bonds with y'all name, with y'all estate. And that's why they done kidnapped y'all. May 1st is when he kidnapped you. May, 8th or 5th or something is when he kidnapped Briar.
Briar was May 5th.
May 5th?
Yeah.
And Ramanye was the 8th when he, after he put, May 1st is when he put them out there. He wanted them dead. He didn't want them brought back at all. He wanted to kill them. He wanted them dead. D-E-A-D. That's why he put them out there as fugitives, armed and dangerous. See, because they can collect on securities. They can do trade. They can take from the estate whether he's dead or alive, because perpetuity goes on. They just would have collected the top, what's on the top, but they couldn't collect what's at the perpetuity. But all over perpetuity they could collect. So he wanted them dead, and he's wrong for putting them out there as fugitives, armed and dangerous, especially after he's seen that this is a self-defense case in the protection of a loved one, the same as the case in Houston, Texas. 4 months later, September the 25th of 2020, whereas the young man, the son, shot this guy that groped his mother, inappropriately touched his mother in Houston, which I have a copy of the report. And it was a self-defense in the protection of another. They looked at the surveillance video from a restaurant, a nearby restaurant. They heard what the mother and the father had said, and they took the son downtown, and viewed the surveillance video, and they released him that same day, which is what should have been done, with Ramanye, because Monalan had a gun, and ain't no telling what Monalan was going to do with that gun, because if you draw it, and knowing that he done, well, they didn't even know that he is the one that had assaulted you, because he wasn't dressed as no security guard. We know that from the surveillance video.
And the witnesses who was very, the witnesses got up there
They said that right in the courtroom, but yet and still, David Layton put him out there as a security guard. This man dressed in civilian attire, which the executive testified that he was a what?
Executive said he was a greeter, not a security guard.
And they still running with it. And
he was not wearing a Family Dollar shirt to show that he even worked there.
I know he was in
No uniform, no shirt, no name tag.
nothing. Just a civilian.
Yep.
Just a civilian. A bully. But that's what David Layton did to make him appear as though this fiction was real. When in essence, the true Kevin Monahan was shot in self-defense because he had a gun on Larry Teague, the stepfather. And by Ramonier being in the store already, going up there to ask, to investigate, to inquire about who it was did anyone know who it was that had assaulted his mother. There was no intent. They don't know the actions of whoever this guy was, who we now know as Kevin Monahan. They didn't know his actions. But it's all about commerce and trade. It's all about commerce and trade. You guys have...
This is a prepaid call from... This call is from an inmate at the Genesee County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, your current balance is $24.42. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Good evening, nephew. How are you?
I'm all right. Everything okay?
Everything okay. I'm doing my live broadcast, and I was talking briefly with Sharmel.
Hello.
Um,
Love you too.
I was talking to her about the way that what the corruption that's being that's transpiring at this point in time. Really, it started May 1st, 2020, when he came out and made the fraud to the public. It's all about Title 15, which deals with commerce and trade, the securities exchange, Chapter 2B. They're supposed to have their anti-bribery statement on file, their foreign registration statement of 1938 on file, there's a Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which Title 22 USC, Foreign Relations and Intercourse, Chapter 11, identifies all public officials as foreign agents because they are operating out of the District of Columbia. They're foreigners to us, which I've been saying for the last 2 years. And so we were just discussing that. They're actually doing what David Layton and all the his co-conspirators, which are the judge and the lawyers. The lawyers taking bribes, the judge taking bribes, the prosecutor. I mean, they all. Governor Whitmer bribed Kari Hannibal, promised him a spot as a judge, and that's what he did. He went along with this misprison, this conspiracy to convict, because they are embezzling off of bonds securities. Title 15, commerce and trade. They're trading in the foreign stock market. That's actually what they're doing. They're trading with your name. That's why you're in all caps letters. You guys have officially been kidnapped. You guys have been officially determined to be sentenced to slavery, involuntary servitude. So that's what we're working with. I'm trying to debunk all this, filing the paperwork, the necessary paperwork. I was on the phone with the Secretary of State this morning of Michigan, with her office, Jocelyn Benson, and I was on the phone with the Department of Justice Fraud Section, the Criminal Division, this morning. I also was on the phone with the Security Exchange, and I was directed to their website to file a complaint against all the co-conspirators in this mispresent, in this conspiracy to convict, in this kidnapping, in this fraud to the public and fraud by the court, because they all have we're in a monopoly. You guys are the stock. You guys are the property. They're securitizing off of. They're embezzling off of securities in the foreign market. So knowing that, I would say we're moving right along. I would say that with God in the forefront as my guide, as my leader, we will overcome this, and they will be held accountable.
I know we're all right, but I gotta tell you this.
Okay.
I spoke to one of the kids' friends today, and they told me that my baby is giving up.
Briar?
Money that he done gave up. I talked to Briar's mentor, and she told me the same thing about her.
You said who gave up?
Manye.
Manye is giving up. He said he knows that they don't do this to him. He's giving up. Briar, I'm guessing she's really still in shock over us being in here and not being able to do what she should be doing, and not praying and all of this other stuff she should be doing, she's not doing.
Stress. Trauma. It's trauma.
But it hurt me to hear that my baby gave up.
No, I didn't see that in it because I just seen him. No. No. Who told you that?
Not.
No, he gave up. No.
And after I told him it worried me, he tried to backtalk it. But it already came out. It's already out there.
Well, like I said, we already know that this is fraud. I mean, it's fraud by the whole entire executive branch of Michigan. It's fraud by the media. So filing the paperwork, getting it all in, it's gonna make a difference. That's why I say I would love for some of the groups to partake in this, and then they can help their fans, some other family members to be released, because they can go back in and look at how they were brought into the court and do the necessary paperwork to hold whoever that prosecutor or whoever that administration was accountable. because that's what it is. It's commerce. It's trade. It's trading in the foreign stock market. Using people, human beings, the citizenry, because of the political status. Politics and finance, yes. That's what it is. It's the corruptness. It's corrupt. Michigan Penal Code about bribery, 750, Section 117. I mean, there's a lot. Title 15, 1 through 7, it actually says that a monopoly is illegal. But they do it all the time. Maladministration. That term is hardly ever used, but maladministration is inefficient or dishonest administration. It's a mismanagement of administration. It's corrupt or incompetent administration as a public office. Incorrect administration. And it's been going on for the duration of him being prosecutor. So I just need viewers. I need people to share my video. I need people to share it to groups. Share it to anyone that you know that has some clout. Be it group members, turning a movement into a moment. All of the groups. The Secretary of State is vital. The Secretary of State is supposed to secure your, let me go out of this. Let me minimize this. Let me minimize this so I can go out of here. The Secretary of State, come on, I ain't got time for this. Exit out. I'm going into y'all's document. I'm going to go into your...
Were they helpful when you talked to them today?
Yes, they were. Matter of fact, let me look so I can make sure I know her name. Well, I know her name, but I'm not going to say it. But I'm going to look to see what agency she came from. She called me back from the young lady at the office of the Department of Justice. The United States Department of Justice. Fraud section, criminal division. I left a voicemail, and she called me. So she told me, explained that she couldn't get no legal advice, and I told her I understand that, but I'm calling to file a complaint. She told me, what I need to do, where the paperwork was and everything. So that was a plus because I wasn't expecting that. And so now I'm going to fax a copy. And she told me to make sure I keep me a copy for my records.
Yes, always.
Always, yeah. So that's going to work out just fine. But yeah, this is a misprison. This is a conspiracy. This is something. Yeah, they all did. Everybody in that court, the monopoly of it.
I want to make sure you put that lady gave him a big C to prosecute a case that was not supposed to be prosecuted due to right and wrong.
Right. I'm gonna put all that on there. Matter of fact, I'm type it out on my computer. I'll make a document, my affidavit.
That's one of the things. They've been going since, okay, since before August. Let's see, Judge Farrah got caught in that scandal, and he was retiring. So his seat was supposed to be up for grabs. Somebody should have ran for that seat, and somebody supposed to take Judge Bean's seat because she was leaving to be a federal judge. Why, if you know way back then, why wasn't both seats on the ballot? Only one seat was on the ballot, and two people ran for that one seat. Why would there be both seats on the ballot?
Because they already knew who they was going to appoint in those chairs.
Exactly.
They already knew.
It was already.
It was already promised. It was already set in stone and promised to somebody.
Yeah. Promise to Kari Hannibal. That's one. We know. And whoever was the prosecutor in another case. But they appointed them there because of the bribe.
Trying to bring up the charges back on the Flint water crisis guys, right? And you know who they're going to put them in front of this time, right? With Judge, right?
Piquel?
No. They're going to put them in front of Hannibal. Because last time, Kelly dismissed the case. So now they're trying to bring the cases back up. They got Nick Lyon. They're trying to bring him in circuit court. Charge him in circuit court again.
That's double jeopardy.
And they're going to try to put him in front of, you already know who.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's all a Ponzi scheme. It's all a monopoly. The corporation, they are a corporation. They're a firm. That's what it is. It's a firm, a corporation of the Bar Association. That's what it is. Because anytime they have even if they have their own firm, attorney at law, that's a firm. It's still a part of the corporation of the Bar Association. They're still dealing out the District of Columbia. Regardless. And like I said, they're supposed to have, I didn't know this, but they're supposed to have, like I said, they're supposed to have an anti-bribery statement on file. Along with the foreign registration statement. Remember Farrah? You remember Farrah?
Yeah, I know. Foreign registry, yeah.
And you know, see, this goes far. It goes far up the ladder. It really does.
Oh, yes, it does. My brother said it does.
It does. It goes all the way up to the presidency. And this is the way that Joe Biden, it secured him the presidency. It goes all the way up to the top. All the way. When Trump said that they stole his election, they did with this fraud right here. Because in the primaries, Trump was winning Michigan. Because I'm thinking it was between 60 and 90,000 black people that didn't even go out and vote in the primaries. Because I was like, I don't know why they didn't go out there and vote. Because I'm thinking, I done chose, I done chose sides because I was a Democrat. And I wanted to know, why the Democrats in the people in Michigan didn't go out and vote. But now I know why. But the election was stolen. It was stolen by this fraud right here to the public and to the court.
That's me, that's my phone. I got 1 minute.
And you say your lawyer told you that. Yeah, he telling you that. He
told me that.
Yeah, he's what you call that word? He's gloating on you in front of you, knowing that he done fuck you, knowing that he done fuck you around. Excuse my French, y'all and Lord. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Before you go, I love you.
yeah, because they knew in the beginning, May 1st, 2020, this was the one that stole the election. This was it. This fraud right here.
Did you hear me, babe?
Hey, my phone's gonna hang up. I love you.
I love you too, babe.
I said I love you. Thank
I,
you for helping.
I love you, my love. I love you. You stay encouraged. You stay encouraged.
I'm trying.
You stay encouraged.
Global Telling.
Yeah. So it's all about it's all about exposing this. It's all about bringing them into the court, subpoenaing them. I want to subpoena all of them. I even want to subpoena my family because they were in the courtroom and they watched this Miss Prison. They watched the perjury. They seen the perjury. They seen Kari Hannibal leading the witness. They seen him not take that oath, violate Federal Rule 603. Swearing in. Ain't no such thing as he already took an oath when he...
Take my medicine. Hold on, okay?
Okay. There's no such thing as he already done swore in. No. You swear in before you make that opening statement. Their lawyer, well, what should have been their lawyer, was supposed to have objected when he started to make that opening statement. The lawyer was supposed to say, I object. But by them being a part of the monopoly, a corporation, they chose not to. Because they already knew that they had a predetermined end. And this is not the first one. This is the reason why we have so many people mass incarcerated. The saying, hey, I didn't do that. I'm innocent. They didn't show this. They didn't put in the evidence that exonerates me. Exculpatory evidence. They are telling the truth. The family members are telling the truth. Because they got them in there as securities. Exchange. Securities and exchange. They're trading them in the foreign market. Because they are foreign to us. Once they took that oath, they became foreign. They became foreigners. They're foreign agents. We are on the land and soil. We are, well, people in Michigan are Michiganians. They're not supposed to be, even prosecuting anyone. There's no such thing. No such thing. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was going to get this template. Documents. Let me look at my Google Drive. Look at my Google Drive. Because I was finna say something about the Secretary of State. And then when I look at my paperwork where I corrected my status, when I look at all my paperwork, I see exactly how they, I see exactly how they, who's who and what's what. I see this. Okay. Like to my, I changed my status, okay? Okay, so on this one, this is what I had to send to our Secretary of State. But I changed this and put State of Michigan, Jocelyn Brown, okay? Jocelyn Benson, and addressed it to her. And this is what it says. It says, Dear Secretary of State Jocelyn Brown. This is after I corrected my status, okay? But this is after a Michiganian correct their status. This one was for who? This one is for Kendall. It say, I, a living man, am serving you with notice of my standing as a national in Michigan. as a state national in Michigan. I know it's your duty to defend my constitutional guarantees. I am exempt from all municipal duty. See, they got them, people in there like they on municipal duty and service by my exemption found at Title 50, Section 7, C and E of the 2012 edition of the Federal Code. That's War and National Defense, Title 50. In trading with the enemy. I claim my exemption under the Supremacy Clause of Article 6 of the Constitution of the United States of America and Amendment 11 thereof, which provides that no American is subject to foreign law. But that's how they got y'all in there. They got y'all in there on the foreign law. I am not an individual created under 1 U.S.C. 8 as a territorial. Wait a minute, come on. Where you at? Which phone you on? Business?
I'm right here.
Oh,
I'm on
okay.
the business.
Okay, let me finish reading before. I am not an individual corporation under municipal law. See, they got you. You hear what I'm saying? See, they got you as municipal people, territorial people. I am exempt from all territorial obligations as I am a foreign sovereign, as stated on the mandatory foreign sovereign immunity notice enclosed. I claim my exemption under the Supremacy Clause of Article 6 of the Constitution of the United States of America and Amendment 11 thereof, which provides that no American is subject to foreign law. I am not an individual created under 1 U.S.C. 8 as a territorial citizen. I have only one contract and one contract only with the government officials. If they are municipal employees, the contract is the Constitution of the United States. If they are territorial employees, the contract is the Constitution of the United States of America. Article 6 is the Supremacy Clause. No other law, statute, code, or regulation stands above the Constitution owed to me as an American, and any contrary law is null and void. Amendment 10, the power remains with the states and the people. Amendment 11, Americans are not subject to any foreign laws ever. This includes the statutes of the states and the codes of the federal subcontractors, which is what they are. They are subcontractors. Therefore, I owe no duty to any municipal or territorial court. Instead, any municipal or territorial court has a duty to set me free from any presumption of obligation under foreign law, and to return to me my assets and my freedom without debt or encumbrance. That is what the that is the letter that I had to send to the Secretary of State, which is the State Department, basically. So, these foreign agents are not going to going to the State Department to even clear our status. They just doing what they do best. They are corrupt. And they need to have that anti-bribery on file. That's what they need to have. Talk about a pillable. This is not even a pillable matter. This is corruption. This is slavery, involuntary servitude. Thanks to the 13th Amendment, which need to be changed. We as a people need to have that clause taken out of there. We as a people. Because it's given these criminals, these liars and thieves, these actors that are calling themselves attorneys, district attorneys, judges, prosecutors, governors, attorney generals are liars and thieves. That's what they are. Liars and thieves. They're corrupt as hell. And they should have their anti-bribery statement on file. They should be registered with FARA. They should be registered. And they should have it on file. The Secretary of State should have it. All that should be registered with the Secretary of State. That's the only thing. Because they don't have a license through the Secretary of State. What they have is a certificate of good standing with the Bar Association. Their corporate okay, nature, notwithstanding, regardless of how long it is, just how many times it's been done. Tomorrow, I probably would do I know that I'm going to go over this, this statement that one of the people that was giving me sharing his knowledge with me in the past. And I'm going to read that because it just tells everything. It's a habeas corpus. And it's telling you what these people, these private contractors are doing. Private for profit gaining. And how they are, like I said, exchanging us, our family members in the foreign market. Slavery. Involuntary servitude. Involuntary servitude for bonds. For their bonds, for their trust. It's deplorable. The people, the public officials that we elect, are committing treason, perjury, bribery, racketeering, human trafficking, slave trading. And we as a people are allowing it instead of coming together as a people. Your problem is my problem with the people, with the public officials. We need to stray away from things that other situations like they're at odds with each. Come on. The Democrats are at odds with the Republicans. The Republicans are. We need to stray away from that. We need to be concerned about us, what these folks are not doing that we hired them to do. Instead of they have us. They've turned the tables and put this false sense of authority on us, and we acquiesce to it. We go right along with it. We don't even say nothing. We think it, but we don't speak it. We don't go up against it. We don't protest it. We don't put them back in their place. Like when you get a letter, and it's in all caps letters, your name, send that back. Send it back. Tell them to correct the errors. That's not how you spell my name. That's not me. Securities and exchange. They're trading. Companies are embezzling money from what we don't know. Let's put them back in a situation where they are our employees. We created government. Government didn't create us. We create government. Our forefathers created government. Let's get it right. As a people, as a whole. Like I said, your problem and your family's problem with this system, with this system, is my problem. That's why I'm learning. That's why I'm going in here and I'm studying. I'm doing my research. I'm doing my research on how to combat this, on how to hold them accountable. Let's do it together. When it comes to freedom, I want freedom for all the people, not just my family. I want freedom for my family and all people. Stop this corruptness. This corruption been going on for decades. Our generation, we're the elders now. We're the elderly. We got to look out for the next generation. We should be training our kids and our grandkids. We should be getting them involved. We should be teaching them. We should be teaching them titles, codes, articles, how to govern government instead of government governing us unjustly, breaking up our families, sending them into involuntary servitude because they can, stereotyping them, making false claims against them in the media in which they control. Let's come together. I just want to say blessings to all. Good night. Share my video. Like and share. Share to groups. Sit and listen. And listen to what I'm saying. And whatever article I gave you or whatever that I read to you, as far as the Secretary of State is concerned, listen to it again. Get an understanding of what I'm saying. This is a document that I had to send to the Secretary of State when I did my status to the Land Recording Office. It sounds to me as though you don't have any constitutional rights until you correct your status. That's what it sounds like to me from the letter. So good night and blessings to you all. Peace and enjoy. Be blessed. May you have courage and prosperity. Put God first and you can't go wrong. Good night.